All right. Okay, so we're going to begin our next presentation. I'm really glad everybody has made their way back from their lunch break. Hopefully that wasn't too long of a lunch break. I'm definitely excited to get into this afternoon's presentation. I've had the pleasure of meeting our Olympian throughout the last couple weeks, and I had an awesome meet and greet with Natasha. So without further ado, we have Natasha here from RBC, and we are so thrilled and thankful for all of their support, all of their time and dedication and willingness to share, not only here in this organization, but through communities afar, near and far. So thank you so much, RBC. And Natasha, we are very glad and thankful to have you here. Without further ado, Natasha, take it away.
Well, firstly, thank you so much, Jillian, for that lovely introduction. And I love when you mentioned at the beginning about all questions are about knowledge. And I'm hoping today that if anybody has any questions, that I'll be able to serve in answering for the programs that we have at RBC. So just to start off, hello everyone on the call. And my name is Natasha Zdravkovic, and I'm the Inclusive Recruitment Specialist, dedicated to supporting the recruitment in diverse talent for persons with disabilities, newcomers, and Indigenous talent at RBC. I want to start off by saying thank you for having me here. It is both an honor and a privilege. I actually had the opportunity to speak at Opportunity Knocks in March of this year, and it's truly a wonderful event. I have to also give out a special shout out to Larissa, Kathy, and Jackie for organizing the event, and once again, just very happy to be here. So before I commence into speaking about the opportunities at RBC, I would like to give a brief overview of our commitment and how this has aided us in developing, improving, and delivering our programming. For more than 25 years, RBC has been committed to the reconciliation journey, specifically in the last few years, while honoring the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's call to Action 92. To work with Indigenous peoples to create long-term, sustainable economic development, employment, and social impact and procurement opportunities. We here at RBC fully believe the decisions we make today in creating a world of mutual respect, sustainability, and shared values has a direct impact not only for our generation, but for the generations to come. It is about economy, people, and community that lead us as we work to a more inclusive organization and work better alongside the communities we serve. Therefore, today I will be speaking about RBC Future Launch Scholarship for Indigenous Youth, the RBC Indigenous Student Internship Program, and lastly, RBC's Indigenous Peoples Development Program. So first, RBC Future Launch Scholarship for Indigenous Youth, previously called the RBC Indigenous Student Award, awards 20 scholarships annually valued up to $10,000 each year, up to 4 years, supporting educational and other living expenses. The scholarship was first awarded in 1992 and has been adjudicated by a panel of Indigenous community leaders each year ever since. Leveraging the knowledge of their communities and peoples on the panel, RBC has also partnered with Universities Canada to facilitate the selection of impressive Indigenous students to support their post-secondary education pursuits. Furthermore, the scholarship is now also supported by Royal Eagles, RBC's vibrant and diverse Indigenous employee community and resource group. I will talk a little bit about them a little later on. So to date, more than 1.8 million has been awarded to 198 Indigenous youth from First Nations, Inuit, Métis backgrounds. Just to give a more holistic view, because as I had made mentioned, it is with RBC Future Launch. So the scholarship is supported by RBC Future Launch. So for those of you out there who might be asking, well, what is RBC Future Launch? It's a 10-year, $500 million commitment to empower Canadian youth for the jobs of tomorrow, with a focus on networking, skills development, practical work experience, and mental well-being supports and services. The initiative aims to help break down the barriers facing young people. So for anyone on the call today, I encourage that you go to RBC Future Launch Scholarship for Indigenous Youth. I will be posting the links at the end of my speech for all these items. And I do want to let you know that the applications have opened and will run till January 5th, 2022. Now, I'm going to talk about the Indigenous Student Internship Program. So for those of you who might be interested in or know someone interested in an internship at RBC, we have the Indigenous Student Internship Program. This program has also been around since the 1990s. This is a national all year round program in all lines of business. Its intent is for students to gain firsthand exposure and get a head start in different areas of RBC, such as finance, sales and service, IT, marketing, HR, and so much more. RBC provides challenging but rewarding experiences that will help you learn and grow. Internships and co-ops are available across Canada and are posted during campus recruitment cycles. So summer placements are in January, February, fall placements are posted in May and June, and winter placements are posted in September and October. I always like to say as we recruit, we always recruit a season ahead. So internships are a great opportunity to receive experience and gain valuable skills for tomorrow. I like to mention to people that this program is not separate from the overall student experience, but an additional piece to student internship. It is a place where students can meet and share with other Indigenous interns from coast to coast to coast. Our Indigenous and Ally Employee Resource Group is there to support and offer mentorship as a safe place for people to gather, share, learn, and develop. Students may also attend a number of events hosted by Inclusive Recruitment. I happen to be on that team, Global Diversity, and Royal Eagles. So for those of you who are not familiar with Royal Eagles is an employee resource group. It is a fellowship of both Indigenous and non-Indigenous employees working together to raise awareness and support Indigenous culture throughout RBC. In addition, students can engage with our initiatives such as iCommit, which is an online awareness campaign. Hashtag iCommit is an initiative to foster an environment of the understanding and support for the Indigenous culture and community. Hashtag iCommit asks you to commit in participating in activities that increase your awareness of Indigenous cultures and traditions. Next, I will speak briefly about the Indigenous Peoples Development Program. The RBC Indigenous Peoples Development Program enables recent graduates to develop skills and network needed to build their professional experience. The program is open to candidates who self-identify as Indigenous, First Nations, Inuit, Métis, Peoples of Canada. Applicants must have graduated within the last 2 years from an undergraduate program or a minimum of a 2-year college diploma. So just a bit of history, this program started in 2017, with the first cohort joining us in 2018. When it started, we had associates in finance. Now the program has expanded and we have students in finance, audit, risk management, technology, Canadian banking, insurance, marketing, ventures, capital markets, and human resources. Just a plethora of opportunity out there. So this is a 2-year rotational program that offers you the opportunity to gain exposure to different aspects of business through 4 rotations. 3 assignments will be within the chosen business area and 1 unique rotation working with Indigenous not-for-profit or a not-for-profit that is working with Indigenous community. This is an opportunity for the associate to give back to the community level and for them to bring back that community mentality into the corporate setting. So if you or know someone that qualifies for the program or would like more information, once again, please check out our website. And I will be adding, like I said, the links after I've spoken. So I do want to let you know, everyone on the call, that the posting is still live and will expire on January 14th, 2022. So there is still time to apply. Not to sound like an infomercial, but apply today. Now, also one more thing, I would be remiss if I did not mention it. I can't say it enough, and I think you've heard me say it countless times, but I do encourage that people just check out RBC, our website, as well as the careers website. And I always say it really doesn't matter what stage you are in the pursuit of your career, meaning if your focus right now is school, that's fantastic. But I do encourage that you go onto the website and browse the opportunities and get familiar with the careers that are out there, as you never really know where your passion may ultimately lead you. You might come across a role that inspires you, and you might say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to apply for that internship program. And then based off of that internship program, it may blossom into a wonderful career at RBC. Obviously, I want RBC to be your number one choice. So I'm just going to keep saying, check out the website. So should you have any questions regarding the programs discussed or are interested in applying, as I said, I will be adding the links very shortly. And I really just want to take the moment and say thank you once again for having me here to share about RBC's commitment to Indigenous community and our early talent programming. So I will pass over the mic to Jillian.
All right. Thank you so much, Natasha. That was beautifully said, right? It was awesome. Thank you so much. Lots of information there, but you definitely said it in a way that the students are retaining. So I'm excited for the students that are going to exactly use the links to get connected to the areas that are going to support their success for right now, right? So thank you so much, Natasha from RBC, not only for this informative session, but for everything that you guys have done to contribute to this event. So thank you so much. Please relay that thank you on behalf of NEPAM organization and youth in all catchment areas. We're very, very thankful and fortunate to have you be a part of this event. Thank you so much, Natasha. And now, right, this is the moment that we have all been excited for. I truly, truly have had a wonderful time connecting with this Olympian. So we have our very own true Olympian from Ontario. Her story of success and her journey is so relatable in so many ways because of the time and the commitment and the dedication, using her strengths to strive for the absolute best. And she has done that and continues to do that. Before we bring her on the stage and introduce her, I'd like to remind all of our youth that she so graciously was able to provide a fun worksheet for our youth to use as a reflection piece to measure where their success is at now or where their values are at now. And I'm really, really, truly excited for our special star Olympian to dig deep into what that worksheet that she's provided, how she's integrated that same style reflection into her life to continue to strive to get the best results. It's a true story. I'm really excited for you guys to meet her and to hear her story. And we will have lots of time to get acquainted at the end. I'm going to bring her on. So let's have a drum roll, a hand roll for Ali Tenho.
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. I just want to start off saying I'm so excited to be here with Opportunity Knocks to speak with you guys. Huge thank you to RBC for making it possible for me to be here today as well. I do want to signal out Jillian. I had an amazing time speaking with her at length before talking with you guys today, and she created such a safe space to teach me more about NEPAM, about Opportunity Knocks, the amazing work that they're doing, and also create a safe space for me to continue my Indigenous learning. So thank you so much, Jillian. Your energy is amazing, and I really feel that. So yeah, I'm an Olympic sailor. I went to my first Olympic Games at Tokyo. And to start it off, I kind of wanted to share a video with you guys of my sailing, because I think a lot of people, maybe you've been down at the water, you see some boats out there, but there are hundreds of different types of boats, all different types of racing. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys this video so you can get a little taste of what Olympic sailing is about. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm also going to put the link in the chat. If for whatever reason the video is lagging, you can watch it at a later time.
It's a beast. It gives you bruises and it knocks you down. You get back on it every day. And it's the best feeling in the world.
There is a common misconception of what sailing is like. It really requires you to be training off the water and on the water all the time to really make sure that you're able to sail the boat properly.
I'd say the 49er is a lot about balance, a lot of core work, a lot of agility.
You're just trying to move as smoothly but as quickly as possible It's a lot more taxing on your cardiovascular body than you would necessarily think.
The boat is moving extremely fast. Things happen in a split second. If you hesitate for even the tiniest fraction of a second, that can be the difference between you staying upright and you capsizing and the end of your race. An average week for us will look like 3 strength lift sessions and about 3 cardio and conditioning sessions.
That's mostly a mix of low intensity cardio, high intensity intervals, weight training, usually training 6 days a week.
Sometimes they suck. Sometimes I'm so freaking tired after sailing, and the last thing I want to do is a strength workout. You know, we both look at each other like, oh, we both know we still have that session that we have to do. We're exhausted. We just sailed for 4 hours. But obviously, we help each other. Whether you have a 7-day-long event with 20 knots of wind, and you need to be on your A game for all 7 days straight. You know, that's what we train for. We try and push our bodies in training so that when we feel that way, we're ready and we've been there before.
All right, so I will add that link in the group after, and I'm gonna start my presentation now. All right, you guys can hear me, everything's good? Big thumbs up, cool, Jillian gave me the thumbs up, we're good to go. So yeah, so I hope that video, you guys get a little bit more sense of maybe what Olympic sailing is, you know, the physicality behind it. The crashes are pretty big, the sacrifice that we have to make. So I want you guys to have that visual in your mind as I kind of talk about my journey today, because I think it gives a little bit more context. So what I'm going to be talking on today is this theme of fueling the fire. So I was so excited when I heard the theme of this conference is fanning the fire within, because I personally feel like I have a very strong fire within me, and that's one of the main reasons that I was able to get to the Olympics, so that I was able to have the success that I have had in sports so far. But I think an important thing, and this is a big thing I wanted to share with you guys today, is I think sometimes it's maybe a misconception that in order to be successful, we have to have this fire burning in us strong all the time. You know, it has to be raging and fiery hot and the fire's big, but that's not the case. Our fire will burn at different strengths throughout our journey, and that is normal and that is okay. The important thing is to never give up on our fire and to learn tools how we can take care of it and grow it when our fire may be small. So that's a big part of what I wanted to talk to you guys today. I did create a worksheet for you guys, which kind of outlines some of the tools, and these are strategies and tools that I use on a daily basis. So whether you complete it now as I'm talking or later, I really, really encourage you guys to do it. All right, so I first wanted to start off with this graph, and I think this is so important. So what does success look like? So I think people often think it looks like this picture on the left, this straight line. You know, your fire is going to be burning at the same strength. We're always going to be climbing up, up, up. But that is not the case. Success looks like this mess that we see on the right, this roller coaster squiggly line. And all along this line, your fire is going to burn at different strengths. And I really wish I had seen this graph when I was your age. Someone had told me this is really what success looks like. You know, you're going to have setbacks, but you just got to smile and realize that this is a part of the journey. But yeah, this graph on the right, this is realistic. This is what life's going to be. This is what your journey to success is going to look like. So if you take something away from today, I really hope that it's that, you know, you embrace this journey. So to start off talking about my story, I figure I would start exactly where you guys are, in high school. I'm only 25 years old, so it wasn't that long ago when I was exactly in your position, exactly in your shoes. Yeah, such an exciting time, but also a time where you have a lot of decisions to make. So I'm specifically reflecting on high school. So here I am in grade 12. I sail, I race a part of the summers. I really love it. I would say my fire is burning decently strong. You know, I feel pretty passionate about sailing, but at the same time, I have all these questions in my head. And these questions are, you know, what do I want to do with my life? You know, what are my friends doing? What does my family want me to do? What if I choose something and it's the wrong thing? What if I fail? There was a lot of outside thoughts, I guess, kind of clouding my head. And this is a point in my life where I learned to use the first strategy I want to talk about on the worksheet. So I took a step back and I thought to myself, well, you know, who am I really? What brings me joy? What can I resonate with my fire within? So I also had these thoughts in my head. Well, you know, sailing does make me really happy. I have this Olympic dream. I love learning and challenges excite me. And I think that if I work hard, I can do this. And so it was at this moment where I learned the first skill I want to talk about, which is being true to yourself. Because in order to build this fire that we're talking about, fan the fire within, it has to be our own fire. It can't be the fire that, you know, our friend has, or we'll follow what they're doing, or maybe what your parents want you to do, or your teacher wants you to do. It has to be true to you. And that's the first step of building your fire. So on the worksheet, I want you guys to write down, you know, something. It could be like a goal that you have, or something that you feel is really true to who you are. And I want you guys to dream big here. I think this is a really important first step. All right, so I've graduated high school. We're gonna flash forward 2 years on this journey. I'm committed to sailing. I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be my full-time job. The next Olympics at this time were the Rio 2016 Olympics. So I focused my sights on Rio, and I was giving everything to that. I was in the gym every day. I was dieting. I was traveling a lot, which was cool, but it was sad because I was away from my friends and family a lot. So it felt like a lot of sacrifice, but my fire was burning really strong. You know, I was feeling great. I was feeling energized. I was excited. I could see the Rio Olympics, you know, it was in my sight. I was getting closer to that goal every day. So this photo here was taken, it was at a regatta that was in Miami actually, and it was our Olympic qualification regatta. So it all came down to this one event. You know, if we did well, we were going to qualify Canada. And if we didn't do well, we weren't. Our dream was going to be over. But we did well. We came off the water. We realized that we had qualified and we were thrilled. There is no feeling like that. We're reaching a goal. All that sacrifice and dedication was worth it. We had secured Canada a spot at the Rio Olympics. So we celebrated with friends and family. We were very excited, and we are continuing working towards this event in the summer. And 2 months before the Rio Olympics, we get a phone call. And we pick up the phone, and it's the Canadian Federation. And they say to us, look, we understand you've qualified, but we're not sending a full team. You won't be going. So just like that, in a 1-minute phone call, my flame went to as big as it could be to pretty much non-existent. And I put a little flame in the corner there, but honestly, it felt like the flame was gone. So this photo, it is a funny photo. It's pretty funny. So our boat here is flipped upside down. So, you know, you normally see a sail sticking up above the water. It's gone. This is pretty much the lowest feeling you can have in a race. And this happens quite a bit. So it's kind of funny, but yeah, my flame was gone. I had this goal that was in my hands. I felt like I had reached it, and it was just taken away. And it was a feeling of heartbreak, a feeling of anger, some really large emotions. And I wanted nothing to do with sailing. I didn't want to talk about sailing. I didn't watch the Olympics that year. At this point, it really felt like my flame was gone. Someone had taken a bucket of water and dumped it on the flame. But when I look back at this moment, this was probably the most important moment in my life so far, because I had to take a step back and really ask myself some serious questions. What brings me joy? Who am I as a person? And specifically, what are my values? So this is the next tool I wanted to talk about, and probably the most important tool. If you're doing anything on the worksheet today, I really encourage you guys to do this value reflection. And on the second page of the worksheet, there's a word bank of all these different values. And I want you to look at that page and see what words jump out at you. There'll be some words which you maybe don't connect with at all, but there'll be other words where you're like, yes, that is me. That's how I feel. And so it was at this moment, this low point in my sailing career, I was, had some really big moments of sadness that I asked myself, who am I? And so I did a value reflection, and I want you guys to do this today as well. So these are the values that make up me. So I really value leadership. So being a leader, whether it's in my team, whether it's in my community, that brings me joy. And that is a big part of who I am. Another section for me is excellence. Everything I do, I want to do to the best of my ability. And so I really enjoy approaching things with this value of excellence and bringing everything I can to the table. And then my last value is growth. I love learning. If I'm learning every day, I'm happy. Keep that learning curve steep. It's a big value I have. So I realized that all these values were going to be supported if I continued down this path of sailing. And it was this reflection was a big factor in me deciding that, what, no matter what happens, I really want to continue down this journey of sailing. It's going to support my values and make me happy. And I come back to this value reflection quite often, whether it's a decision I have to make or a conflict that I have with, friends or family. Anytime I have an action that I'm questioning, I always look back and say, is my action matching what my values are? Are my values being supported in my action, and vice versa? And so I think this is a really good tool to use when you have a big decision in your life. So I continued on, I said, my journey's not over yet. I have more to prove. So I don't know if you've noticed, but this boat is different from the previous photo I showed you guys. So I switched the type of boat I sailed. This boat's called the 49er FX. Again, my values growth. I love a challenge. So let's try a new boat. So I tried a new boat. I also tried a whole new position. So before I was the crew, so I was the person that's controlling the sails. And then now I switched to steering. So I really kind of started from the bottom again. And it was a big challenge, but one that brought me a lot of joy because I valued that. I also changed sailing partners. So this is my sailing partner, Mariah, and we built a really strong relationship and a very strong team together. And this brings me to the next strategy that you guys are going to have in your toolbox, which is celebrating your wins along the way. And we were able to build our fire together. And the way we did that was making sure that along our journey, we acknowledged the positives, because when you have a big goal, it's easy to be like, well, I'm not there yet, so why would I celebrate? There's nothing to celebrate. We haven't reached our goal yet. But it's so important along your journey to success to give yourself credit for all those little wins that you're doing right. I think we can also often focus on negatives, oh, I maybe missed that, or I missed that workout, or I didn't do this. But it's acknowledging these wins, celebrating these wins along the way, which are so important to building our flame and taking care of that inside. So I want you guys on the worksheet to write down 3 things that you are super proud of this year. And I think this is really important. I do this exercise every day. I write on a little piece of paper something that I'm proud of that I did that day, and I put it in a jar. And seeing that jar get more full and more full as the year goes on helps with my self-confidence and helps build my flame and keep it strong throughout the year. So that's another strategy you guys now have. All right, so Mariah and I started getting like really successful together. So from 2018 to 2019 to 2020, every single year we were setting new personal bests. We were climbing the world ranking, and we were breaking Canadian records. So here we are, starting a brand new boat, and we're breaking Canadian records a few years after. Like, it was amazing. And our flame was getting stronger and stronger. And we really felt like we were peaking. We were ready for 2020. So it was March of 2020. And you guys know probably what comes next, right? Global pandemic, boom, flame immediately diminished again. At first, all we knew was that Canada wasn't sending an Olympic team. Soon after, we found that the Olympics were going to be postponed a year, which was good, but still there was a little bit of heartbreak there. Again, it felt like we were so close. I had it in my hands. We were peaking right at the right point. And okay, no, your dream's not going to happen again, Allie. It's not for you. So again, my flame shrunk down. But when we found out that it was going to be just postponed a year, it was in that moment where I took a step back and I was like, okay, let's reframe my mindset here. This is going to be 365 more days to get stronger, to get faster, and to get smarter. And that leads me to the next tool that's super important, which is goal setting. So it was in this moment where, we can't be out sailing. We're obviously in lockdown. We have to stay at home. Now, I can't really execute my goal of learning, how to tack or drive fast on the water. I have to change my goals. And so we put on, a different lens, and we were able to set new goals that would help me. I was always laughing. I'm a competitive person. I'm like, the entire world's in lockdown. I'm going to lock down better than all my competitors. So that was my new mindset. And I set new goals in order to do that. But the biggest thing, I'm sure you guys have heard about goal setting before, but the biggest thing that I want to stress is owning your goals. And it's the accountability part of it. So on the worksheet, I want you guys to write down goals, because with goals are what is going to help us climb that ladder to where we want to go. And the accountability part, the reflection part, did we meet our goals? If so, great. And maybe reflect on the positive pieces that made that possible. If not, you can reflect on, well, maybe what were some obstacles in the way of why I didn't reach my goal, and how can I maybe change that next time, or what supports can I bring in? But when you make your goals, I want you guys to tell a family member, tell a friend, tell someone that helps you hold yourself accountable to these goals. And this is probably the biggest thing that I've learned, because sometimes I set goals and then I maybe, 6 months later, I look back and I'm like, oh, I didn't really reach that goal. And there was no accountability there. So this is actually a big one that I'm working on, is making sure that I reflect periodically and look back and hold myself accountable to these goals. So this is a big one for me currently in my life. All right, so 365 days later, guys, we made it. It is Tokyo. We are there. And it wasn't easy. The extra 365 days, we did get, stronger, faster, and smarter, but it also came with a challenge. I think it's been a challenging year in a lot of ways for a lot of people. But my flame was burning strong. Of course, it's the Olympics. Like, if there's a time to have that passion burning, it's going to be the Olympics. And I can remember sailing out to the race course, crying happy tears, because I was just so proud of our team, of everything we overcame in this challenging 4 years, which turned into 5 years for this Olympics. And this leads me to the last tool I want to talk about, which is support system. Because without my support system, I don't think I would have been able to have my flame burning that strong in Tokyo. It was a tough year, and I really relied on my support system. So this is a photo of my grandparents and my uncle. And I was lucky to also have my family and my partner. And I have my twin sister, who's my best friend. She's a huge support system for me. And so I want you guys to also write down on your sheet, maybe some people that you can trust or that you feel connected with that can be your support system. And this is really important to maybe even let them know that they might be your support system, because they're going to show up for you. I also want to say that in this moment, if you feel maybe you don't feel you have these people, I want you to realize that this Opportunity Knocks group, myself, the NEPAM community, they are your support system. This conference is to let you know that they are showing up for you, that they are going to be your support. So even if you think that you maybe don't have them, just support system, realizing that you do. You know, this community here wants you to succeed. So you can write them down on that list as well. So I think that's really important. So just to finish off, I want to come back to this graph of success. If you take one thing away, I want it to be this, that your journey to success, and I'm confident now you guys have these tools for success, that in order to grow your flame, you need to realize that it's going to burn at different strengths along the way. This is the most important thing to realize and to normalize. You know, if you maybe feel, oh, my flame isn't burning super strong right now, maybe I can't reach that goal. Maybe I won't be successful. That is not the case. This is normal. You have the tools to build and to grow your flame. So change your focus, your lens to that. Put more energy into, let's foster this flame. I know it's there. It's all part of the journey to success. So again, these 5 tools, I call them like your toolbox. You have this toolbox of strategies. And I want to stress, guys, that these are the same 5 strategies that I use on a daily basis, that I am using now. So I've set a goal. I'm continuing on to the 2024 Olympics, and I want to win Canada's first ever medal in women's sailing, Olympic medal. So I've set this big goal, and these are the same 5 strategies that I'm using every day to help me get there. So I'm confident now you guys have these strategies. I want you to reflect on these strategies and use them in your daily life to help build that flame on your journey to success, because I'm confident that with these tools, that journey is possible for you guys. So yeah, again, I'm going to end it off here. I want to say thank you to RBC and to Opportunity Knox for allowing me to speak to you guys today. You know, there's lots that I could talk to you guys about, but I felt that these were really important to align with this theme and to pass on these tools to help you guys on your journey to success. And I'm also just going to end off saying we are on a journey to medal in 2024. And I want you guys to follow along on our journey if you can. So these are all our different social media platforms. Follow along. Mariah and I, we're pretty fun. We're pretty silly, lighthearted about it. So yeah, join our team and just experience this journey with us as we try to win a medal in 2024. That's all for me. I'm going to open up to questions.
All right. Oh my gosh, Ali, honestly, I absolutely enjoyed your presentation. I know our youth had enjoyed it too. Wow, they are so enthused. They're so thankful, Ali, because, you know, you are so relatable. Your story is relatable. I don't know if you could have done an even better job, because you related everything to the fire within. And that's exactly those same passions, goal setting. You like killed 2 birds with 1 stone, because you're not only encouraging our youth to set new goals, you're actually giving them tools to support their journey on how to actually achieve that. And you're a living inspiration, right? You're saying the sky's the limit, right? Like, go for it and go for whatever passion, whatever's calling you, gravitating towards that, whether it be sports. I love that you are an advocate for women in sports. I absolutely support that. And I know a lot of our Indigenous youth are into sports as well. So that's why I said you couldn't have done a better job. This was so amazing, Ali. And I'm super, super thankful we have a featured Ontario Olympian, right? So I am so excited, and I'm glad you touched on 2022, 2024, right? To follow the journey. I will most definitely be following, Ali. Thank you. This isn't even a goodbye, right? This is a start, right? This connection. So I absolutely loved it. I do have a couple questions, Ali, just to give a little bit of our youth, a little bit more of Ali ten Hove, because obviously we want more, right? So Ali, at what point in your career, and I know you had mentioned you were like, I'm doing this, right? But when you made that decision to be like, because you said it, right? You aligned all your values, you went through that whole process, but what was that, and what was the top value maybe that made your decision to be like, I'm going to do this?
I think it was the growth value. I think that's probably the strongest value that I feel. I really enjoy always learning, whether it's learning a skill or learning more about myself. And I really felt that I was connected to this Olympic story and this Olympic journey, and that, you know, I wanted to learn more about myself, understand myself, and grow as an individual. And I think that was the main reason why I kept going.
Love it. Love it. Love it. I'm going to fire one right back at you, hun. What were some of the barriers you faced? And maybe even one, what was maybe your strongest barrier you faced, and how did you overcome that barrier?
I think probably the heartbreak in 2016, that was pretty tough. I was more or less ready to kind of walk away, being like, this wasn't for me. But yeah, that was probably the hardest barrier, I would say. And I used those exact same 5 strategies that I talked about to overcome it, right? So, you know, value reflection, being true to myself, celebrating the wins, goal setting, and the support system. Those are amazing.
Exactly. Yeah, you definitely, right? I was like, I did these questions, you definitely answered them all throughout your whole program, but it's really, really good to just kind of, you know, take that look back. And I want to ask this one, because we talked about a strong support system, and I love that you added NEPAM as a support system, because especially when we look through things through an Indigenous lens, when it comes to making connection with people, you know, we may not have that blood relation with one another, or personal connection with one another, but when we look at our values, right, everybody that's in this NEPAM organization is dedicated. They have their values instilled with them, and they want to show the youth how to integrate, right? How to integrate those values, those traditional values, those, you know, those soft skills, like transferable skills we've been talking about this whole last couple of days. So when it comes to our support system, what types of encouragement fueled you the most? You know, what was that encouraging piece that made you feel so uplifted? Again, how you showed us what roared your fire, what kind of encouragement did that for you?
I think something that I tried to focus on and that I struggled with at times was my athletic identity, and realizing that I am more than my sport. So I think the encouragement that spoke more to who I am as a person, like, I can see that you're working so hard, you know, or like encouragement that spoke to attributes or values that I had, versus encouragement like, oh, I saw that you won that regatta, congratulations. You know, that didn't mean as much than encouragement or words that spoke to who I am as a person. Yeah, so I think that's what I would say.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, because how we can, you know, it's really easy to say good job, right? It's really easy to be like, you did well, but it hits a little bit home when someone's like, I seen how hard you were working, right? Or I seen you get down and get back up, keep doing that. So that's where I was going with that question, because that's like, you know, that's kind of adding, again, like you said, it's putting yourself into an intentful, encouraging piece, right? So we have time for one more question before we move on. And which one do I have to ask this one, Allie, because I absolutely love what you said. Our Indigenous people value water. And you said something so amazing when we had just kind of chatted before. How do you where's your value at with water? How do you view water? Because you spend a lot of time out there on the water.
Mm-hmm. Well, I really connect with the sport of sailing. I think why I love it so much is because our field of play, it's not in a gym or a stadium. We're out on the water. So we're really tied in with Mother Nature. And our field of play changes based on the wind, the clouds that come in, the waves, the tide, and we can't control that. So it's out of our hands. And I think in life, we try to control a lot of things, you know, make sure that things are in our control. And when I go out on the water, I give up that control. That control is with Mother Nature, and I need to work with her and ebb and flow and pivot my plan as, you know, as things change around me. And so I really love that connection to the water and to the elements of kind of giving up control and just being in the moment and, you know, working together with the elements, I think is really cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was the answer I was looking for. Thank you so much, Allie. This was so fast, right, Larissa? It was right, youth. Yeah. It was so fast, but because you're so relatable, it was awesome. And Natasha, great. I know she had left, but I definitely want to pay thanks to her. Allie, I hate to leave you on such a short note, but this was fantastic. I absolutely loved your presentation, and I know our youth are going to be able to use their exactly their Fuel the Flame worksheet to evaluate their values in their life right now. So thank you so much, Allie. This is not a goodbye. This is a goodbye for now. We will see you again soon. And for the youth, we are heading over, right, Larissa? We're getting ready to head over to there you go.
That's exactly right. I wanted to point out, again, just a quick reminder of how to access the Fuel the Flames worksheet. It's right here on the live platform. I've downloaded it. This is what it looks like. It's a great way for you guys as well to follow up and to just be able to own your goals and think about that support system. So go to the Saturday day, click to download. It will download it automatically. Next up, grab your moccasins. We've got our final session 3 of 3 to complete our baby moccasins. Please join the call. And then that is going to lead right into our closing ceremony, the last ceremony of the day, which is from 2:30 to 3:15. And then we'll finish off with a closing ceremony dance. So head over now to the moccasins Zoom call. Thank you so much. Thank you, Allie. Have a great day. Talk soon.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.